Hello and welcome back to the 7th episode of my Pokemon Emerald Catch Everything playthrough. Today we're heading out from Slateport and we're looking in pretty good shape. We've got 3 of our final team members already. Zubat is getting up there slowly, very slowly but surely, and Combusken and Curlier are both doing pretty well as well. Could probably take off the Quick Claw from Curlier and give it to Zubat, but I don't think that makes too much of a difference. So yeah, we're going to carry on today, and we're going to be heading up onto Route 110. So this is a new route so far, and we've got some new Pokemon available on it. So the wild Pokemon here are Electrike, which is a new electric type Pokemon at 30%, which is something we are going to be using, but not right now. Poochyena at 20%, Minun at 15%, Gulpin at 15%, and both of those are new. Oddish at 10%, Wingull at 8%, and Plusle at 2%. So we've got Plusles to find, which could take a little bit of time, but shouldn't be too bad. But we won't be catching those yet. I think we're going to defeat all the trainers on this route first before we do any wild Pokemon grinding. And there's quite a lot to see. There's also Professor Birch here, sorry. And he kind of forewarns you that we might be seeing May soon. And we register him in the Pokénav, so I imagine we're going to get calls from him later. Yeah, so he kind of says, keep an eye out for my May. So there is a rival battle coming up this episode, so hopefully we are sufficiently prepared for that. But first, we are going to take on these trainers, and I'm going to do these individually just so Zubat gets a bit more XP. So this is the first trainer on the route, Pokefan Isabel, and she has a Plusle and a Minun, both level 14 as far as I'm aware. I don't even know what I clicked, I was looking at something else and just spamming A, but yeah, I'm not going to stay in here in case this does have an electric move. It's definitely better to switch out rather than die. It also has an Oranberry, so will eventually, it would heal up even if I did manage to weaken it with Leech Life, and that is very annoying. These things are not very good, but they are quite annoying. They have, almost all of them have Thunder Wave, and there's a lot of just paralysis generally going around. Electrike, which is quite common on this route, has Static, I think 50% of the time, has two different abilities, Static and Lightning Rod, and Lightning Rod in this game is pretty useless. In future games it's pretty good, but yeah, Static paralyzes you 30% of the time if you hit it with a contact move. It also has Thunder Wave. This thing has Thunder Wave as well, I think. Plusle gets Thunder Wave, so just lots of paralysis. And the next gym is actually the electric type gym, where we will be seeing lots of Magnemite as well, and similarly that likes to paralyse things. But hopefully if we can get this off, then we should... oh, that didn't kill. Oh. Combusken's not quite... well, Ember's just an incredibly weak move. I think it's only 40 base power, so it doesn't quite do the damage that I expect it to sometimes. And one down. And we can rematch Isabel at some point if we choose to. And she still only has a Plusle and a Minun, which is not very scary in kind of single battles, but in a double battle it can be a lot more so, which is another reason to do it like this, I suppose. I'm just going to go out to Combusken again rather than get Curlier paralysed as well. Yeah, so as you can see, this thing likes to T-Wave stuff as well, which is Thunder Wave. It's just, yeah, a very annoying move. 25% of the time means you will not attack. It lowers your speed to 1/4 of your actual speed value. So all round, a bit of a nuisance unless you're a ground type. And in this game, even electric types can be paralysed, so it's not like in later generations where that's a big advantage. You can switch an electric type in, not in this game, sadly. Hopefully this double kick does more than 50%. I have been growled a couple of times, so it might not be the strongest thing, but Plusles also fairly frail, so yep, after -2 it doesn't even do 50%. These fights are more annoying than they should be at the moment, largely because of the switching in and out with Zubat, which I realise I've forgotten to do both times, but hey. It also doesn't seem like they've got any electric moves, so possibly unlikely. This Citrus Berry is going to do... Oh, it is an Orange Berry, not a Citrus Berry. And we do finally manage to finish that off. I'm going to go quickly to heal up, and then I'll be with you in just a second. So I'm all healed up, but before carrying on, I just wanted to point out this building here. So this is the cycling road, and we can use this in future to cycle up and down between Mayville and Slateport, but for now we can't walk on the cycling road and we don't have a bike yet, so that's something we're going to come back to in future. But yeah, so if we carry on up here, we've then got this building here, which is the Trick House. We've got a leisurely walk on the low road, so we kind of get told this is the right way to go if you want to carry on with the story of the game. But I think we're going to come over here and fight these trainers. So there are some trainers on, this is now Route 103, and so this is a shortcut back to the start of the game. If you have Surf by this point, you can use it to kind of shortcut back to Mum and back to Petalburg, but at this point we don't actually have that available, so we're just going to be seeing this half of it. Previously we had caught all the Pokemon on this route, so there aren't any more to see, so I won't go into too much detail as to what there is available, but you can fish now, you can fish again, but there is only Magikarp and Tentacool available, so nothing new for us really. I'm just going to switch out because a leech seeded Zubat at level 14 using a non-stab bug move that's 20 base power is not going to be the fastest way to kill something. And so hopefully Confusion does a decent job. It'd be nice once we upgrade to having Psychic or even Psybeam to use. I'm going to use another Confusion, that should knock it out. And there we go, that's good. So we get some more XP for Zubat. And now we repeat the process. Go back into Zubat. There is an item on Zigzagoon, so I need to check what that is. We've got fairly lucky on those recently. We've got a couple of hyper potions out of it, so definitely worth checking. This thing likes to use Stun Spore and other kind of status moves, so just gotta hope it doesn't do that on this one. And if it does, we do actually trace Natural Cure, so we could have switched out to heal it up. So Natural Cure works by when a Pokemon switches out, it heals its status. So a few Pokemon have it. I think Starmie has it, which is a bit odd, and it makes more sense with Roselia, I think. But yeah, so we can either go up there and fight some more trainers. And that's from Lola, so we can fight some more trainers up there, or we can come down here for a double battle. And we're going to do this double battle quickly, I think, first. Hopefully I should just be able to keep Zubat in this time. These things didn't seem to have any electric type moves, but who knows. I think it's actually best for me to Supersonic and double kick the Plusle. Okay, so let's hope we... Okay, they both use Helping Hand, so it's a bit of a waste for them. That is the good thing about fighting these as a double battle, is they do often pull useless things, useless moves. So Helping Hand gives a 50% damage boost to the Pokemon that you use it on, but if both of you use Helping Hand, then neither Pokemon gets a 50% damage boost. Sorry. And we should knock this out, hopefully. Hopefully this dies and not... Yep. So we get a nice crit just to make sure. And no level for Zubat, but that's fine. We're kind of slowly getting up there. And there's a few more trainers on this route. If we go to the left here, I think. Yeah, there's this Pokefan, which I think might have a Pikachu, or maybe just has a child dressed as a Pikachu. I can't remember. It has a Skitty, so Skitty you probably could whittle down with Zubat, but we've got better things to do at the time, I think. And I still need to remember to check Zigzagoon. I'll do that after this battle, and I will almost certainly forget again, but... And we knock it out in one hit, as expected. Skitty's pretty frail, the Muskin's pretty strong, and it's stab fighting type move against Pokemon that's weak to it, so all good. And we register someone else in the So yeah, this guy's talking about the shortcut to Oldale Town, and this guy is angry and therefore wants to battle. Which, I mean, I can sympathise. So again, could just whittle down with Zubat, but even against a level 5 Magikarp, and I still didn't check Zigzagoon, even against level 5 Magikarp, we just don't really have anything like, to hit it with. So it's much faster just to switch out and hit it with Curlier instead. And it's one hit kill, which is nice. And I can't really be bothered to keep switching out Zubat, but it'll be worth it eventually. It hasn't made a great case to be on my team just yet, but I'm sure I am certain it improves later on, because I have used it in the past. I've used a Crobat before whilst playing through this game, and it's pretty good flying type. There aren't many better, I would say. Probably Skarmory, and that's... is that it? I'm trying to think of what other flying types there are, and I'm not going to count Rayquaza, however anyone wants to say it. Of course. Because more annoying status effects are always good. And this thing's going to kill us now, isn't it? Oh, that is very annoying. Okay, we've got one more go. One more chance to kill it, Curlier. Don't hit yourself. Thank you. And Curlier will probably die to poison anyway, but that's fine. I will probably go back and heal regardless, so... back out into Zubat. gets a bit dull just going through this over and over again. I think we could have got the XP share a bit sooner, and maybe if I was doing it again I'd probably do that, but you know, it's not the end of the world having to do this, and we'll get the XP share before too long anyway. We've only got to beat the next gym, and then we'll have access to it, I think. Yeah, so there we go. Now we have beaten everyone apart from these trainers up here. So I think we're just going to carry on and fight them. All healed up, and I'm now remembering to take the item of Zigzagoon, and this is a Great Ball. Could be useful. not going to say no, but I'm going to fight these two as a double battle. You can actually do each one as a single battle, but it's just faster to do it this way, I think, so and not have to deal with swapping in and out Zubat over and over again. So Voltorb is another thing that likes to paralyse, so hopefully it does not have Thunder Wave, but I'm not holding out hope particularly. I suppose I'll double kick the Voltorb because it does more damage, but it might have static. Can't remember if it gets static or not. If it does, it doesn't activate, and we finally have a level 16 Zubat, and it then Bite, which is useful, I guess. Miss Supersonic, which is a bit annoying, but it doesn't matter too much because Heater just does that. And Bite is a 60 base power Dark type move, but it is special in this generation, so isn't actually very good on Zubat, unfortunately. But it is still better than anything else we've had so far. And so we can come and pick this up, and we get a PP up. I think that's the first one in the game. What that does is it boosts the PP of one of your moves by a certain amount, depending on what the maximum PP is. So if it's 5 PP, it goes up to 6. If the maximum is 10, it goes up to 12. If it's 15, it goes up to 18, and so on, kind of gradually. So you get more bang for your buck on higher PP moves than you do on lower PP moves, but also, obviously, you're kind of more likely to run out of lower PP moves anyway. And I think the maximum you can use of those is 3 on one move. So yeah, 5 PP goes up to 8. And we are now done with Route 103. There's nothing else to see here. As I said, the fishing Pokemon that you can get from this are Tentacool and Magikarp. So Magikarp at 70% and Tentacool at 30%. But that's all that for now, and we can instead come along here and we're going to take on the first entry into the Trick House. So the Trick House, you can fight as soon as you get here. You do need Cut, I believe, for this first one. And you can see we're being watched, so once I press A, we're going to see a kind of sparkle somewhere, and we find it under the table. And so that's how you find the man hidden under the table. So now we have to work our way through. There are, I believe, 9 or 8 entries into the Trick House, and basically after each gym badge a new one unlocks, and then finally after the beating the Elite Four and entering into the Hall of Fame, that's when the final Trick House unlocks. So after each gym badge we can come back here and complete another one, and mostly the rewards are not particularly good. I think there's a rare candy at one stage, and so there's a few useful items, but mostly they're pretty bad. And as you can see, Bite does kind of next to nothing, so I'm going to Supersonic. I would like to start using Zubat, and it's quite nice that it can't be poisoned by Poison Powder from Oddish, so Supersonic is just a dreadful move. It's so annoying when someone else has it, and so bad when you try and use it, and it's that kind of worst possible mix. But yeah, I don't even know why I'm bothering. I'd be better off just using Bite, and then of course we get paralysed anyway. I'm just going to switch out into Curlier. Curlier should be able to one-hit kill the Oddish from there. Oddish is a part poison type, so yeah, part poison type, so we should be able to kill with Confusion. It's super effective. And we do. Oh, we get it correct. It may have mattered because Oddish is fairly specially bulky, but yeah, probably not. So that's the first one down. I believe there are kind of 3 trainers in pretty much all of these, and they're usually some sort of maze. And require various kind of HMs or other things to get through, but yeah, we need to get to that scroll there, that toilet paper, and that has the password to get out of the maze. So as I said, the items from these aren't particularly good. I think they mostly exist as a good place to get some experience more than anything. The items that you get from these, you can see an item on the floor up there, they're pretty much all of the kind of in-maze items are mail of some sort, and mail in this game is pretty bad. It's worth 50 Poké Dollars, and which is nothing, and like doesn't really have any purpose. You can put on some messages if you want to trade them to your friends, supposedly, but generally, yeah, pretty useless stuff. But still, we'll pick it up for the sake of completionists. And we have a Skitty. Well, let's see how much Bite does, just for kind of interest more than anything, and I'll probably switch out into something else. Well, that kind of does enough that I'm tempted to stay in, although that also does enough that I'm tempted to switch out, so who knows. If Skitty keeps tackling, we'll be dead soon, so... One more bite should do it, hopefully. Oh, tackle does 12, so this might kill us. Okay, if we break through, we'll get one of Zubat's first kills of the episode, and we do. So that is good news. So I'm not going to switch out against Shroomish until. I mean, I am going to switch out, but I'm just going to do it like this instead. And we are almost at the point now where Zubat is a higher level than Zigzagoon, and it only took, what, 2 or 3 episodes to get to that stage, so that's good. That Leech Seed is a bit annoying, but I'm sure we can manage it. Just slow. A slow animation. I could turn on animations off, but that's kind of part of the fun of the game. This is very much not a speed run. So, yeah, I don't think we have to worry too much, but we do take out the Shroomish and get some more XP. And now I'm going to switch out back into Zubat, get some more levels. The rival fight that's coming up could be a bit scary. I think I'm going to lead with Curlier and just Calm Mind up, and then Super Potion, and hopefully just sweep. But it can get a bit scary just because May's quite actually decent level. I think this one is not as bad as Rival 3, if I remember right. The third rival fight is kind of a bit later on in the game, and she can have some pretty tough Pokemon, but yeah, at least for now. I suppose it'll be the 4th rival fight actually, but I'm not counting the optional one in Rustbro because it's optional. So there we go, last Robin is defeated, and that should be the last bit of, or the last trainer of this area. Or there might be one more that we have to fight, but we should now be able to escape. Yeah, there's one more to fight. So there were 4 in this maze, which is useful experience, but yeah. The good thing about Curlier at the moment is it also has Double Team and Calm Mind, so it's got a lot it can do in terms of setting up and just generally being quite annoying. I'm going to switch out to Combusken because Combusken can kill Zigzagoon in one go. Although we are starting to get a bit ahead of Curlier, but that's fine. Curlier will have plenty of chance to catch up later in the game. And we've got another Zigzagoon, so we're going to go back into Zubat and rinse and repeat. And we should hit level 17, which will be very handy. Right, so if we switch now from... we'll switch into Curlier this time, why not? Edge our way up to level 22. Do confuse Zigzagoon, so if it hits itself that would be very good. And this should be the last Pokemon in the last trainer, and we will be able to escape the trick house and we can collect our reward for beating round 1. I think I quite liked the trick house when I was younger and playing through the game for the first time. I thought it was a cool concept, and I kept, after I defeated the final one, I kept coming back hoping that I would have another one to do, so I quite liked the concept, and the execution as well was fun, but I don't know, kind of looking back, I think they're a bit, I don't know, they're not meant to be main game content, I guess, they're optional to do, but you know, they feel like a slightly wasted potential, perhaps. I don't know. I'm kind of interested what other people think on that. But so, if anyone does actually watch this video, let me know if you were a fan or not. I haven't played through the remakes of this game, the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire remakes, and I'm kind of interested to see what they did with those. But for now, at least, I haven't had access to a console to play them on, so I will have to wait and see, I guess. Well, and now we're done with that. I think I'm going to... I could heal up. Yeah, I'll heal up. I won't be lazy. I'll just... All done. So let's come along here, and we can... I could use a repel, and I'm semi-tempted to. There are some trainers here to fight as well. Obviously, I do need to catch every Pokemon on this route, but for right now, there's not too much that I'm kind of interested in getting hold of. In terms of wild Pokemon on this route, it's still, from fishing, it's still only Magikarp at 70% and Tentacool at 30%. I kind of listed off the other wild Pokemon available earlier, but just in terms of kind of most of it I will grind for later, and some of them can paralyze you or weaken you, so it's best generally, I think, to run away until after the rival battle that's coming up. So if I do have a repel, I will use that quickly, just so I don't have to fight any wild Pokemon before we fight our rival battle. And this is an Electrike which can paralyze you, especially if you use double kick on it, so instead I am going to just use Confusion. Being cool isn't enough to win. Well, isn't that a life motto? Yeah, I do have one repel, so might as well use that. I could probably just throw away that orange mail. My bag's starting to get a bit full, so I don't know, we might have to start tossing some items or using the PC soon. But kind of, yeah, as we come up here, as Professor Birch warned us, we do have a rival battle, and more out of habit than anything else I am saving. Hopefully we don't get defeated, but you never know. I'm still leading off with Zubat. I probably should have switched that out and just led off with Combusken or Curlier, but you know, we'll be fine. If anything, well, I could use Leech Life on this. Why not? Sure. This thing is weak to Leech Life, and it is also weak to flying type moves, which, if we had any flying type moves on our Zubat, that would have been useful. And this thing, I don't know, I could spam Bite as well, I guess. I don't know what happens if I switch out Zubat now, if Zubat still gets experience for when... okay, I'm definitely switching out now. For when that Lombre actually dies, does Zubat get the experience, or does it purely go to the Pokemon that killed? I don't know. Rock Throw misses. I want to set up a Calm Mind, but I also don't want to get Yawn. I'm going to use Calm Mind. I think there's probably a Yawn coming, but if that does happen, I will just wait and go to sleep and then wait till I wake up. So if I double team now, Rock Throw will probably keep missing anyway. So we'll go to +2, or well, +1 evasion and +1 special attack and special defense, and we do fall asleep. I may have to cut this recording, and in which case we will be, and we get an early wake up, in which case we will be resetting, but thankfully I did save before I started, so that's good. And you can hopefully kill Lombre in one hit also. Not quite, and Swift never misses, so even though we have that double team, it's not going to do us any good, but thankfully Lombre is not too strong at this point. Only level 18, and we are level 21, and about to level 22, hopefully. Yeah, so Lombre, Zubat didn't get any experience because Lombre had switched out. That's interesting. I never actually knew how that worked, because trains don't really switch in-game too much. And Bide, I'm just going to Calm Mind, because I don't want to do it any damage that it will then hit me back with, so we're going to Calm Mind again, and then we should be able to knock it out in one go with Confusion. And because we did no damage, Bide fails, and we can now just kill it in one more hit. I am surprised that didn't kill. I'm really surprised that didn't kill, and of course that does kill. Let's hope Combustion's faster, because otherwise we could be in a bit of a mess here. I assumed that after all those Calm Minds we would have been able to kill, but unfortunately not, and that means Combustion manages to finish off the Marshtomp. Thankfully we were faster, and there we go, that's the end of the fight. So I will go heal up, because there are still a few more trainers to kill, and we do get a reward. We get the item finder, which you can use to find hidden items, and there are a few on this route to kind of tutorialise that. But yeah, I'm going to go and heal up and come back. Time to carry on with the route. I've been and healed up, and obviously the first encounter we get, and it's a Poochyena, so we should be able to run away from that fairly easily, which we do, and now we can carry on. There are quite a few things on this route that we do need to catch, but I was hoping to get through it without doing so. Unfortunately I'm out of repels, so I can't just repel away. From now on I'll probably cut out any more wild battles we have, but yeah. Although actually we do need to catch a Gulpin, so I'll see how much Bite does, and then if Bite does kind of not enough to kill, then we will catch this instead. That does absolutely nothing, so I think we could probably switch out into Blaziken and use Ember. No, not Blaziken, sorry, Combustion, and use Ember, and hopefully this will. And it might be useful to have a Pokemon with Yawn. I do plan on getting Hypnosis later, but wouldn't be the worst thing to have a Pokemon that could put stuff to sleep, just for catching purposes. I don't think anything we're catching at the moment has particularly high catch rate though, so we should be fine just to throw a Great Ball at this. If it would stop spamming Yawn. Yeah, I'm just going to throw a Great Ball. If we catch it, we won't get put to sleep anyway, so I'm not going to bother switching anymore. And there we go, that's the first Pokemon of this episode caught. So we have Gulpin. Gulpin is a poison type, and it is 15% to appear on this route, so it's quite a good first catch. But now we are going to take on these two in a double battle, because I believe there is a hidden item just above them. And we are going to, I guess, Leech Life that and Ember that. I would use Double Kick, but Electric does have Static, and unfortunately that doesn't kill. So, yeah, not ideal, but we'll wait and see. And Electric used Howl, so it hasn't paralysed anything, which was the only goal to avoid that. So we'll just do the same thing. Take out Electrike with Ember and do a bit more damage with Leech Life. And I don't know what else. So we've got a Voltorb as well. So that will probably outspeed, and I'll just double kick. I believe Voltorb and Electrode was the fastest Pokemon in the first generation. I think probably the fastest until Ninjask in the third gen. Or Deoxys speed, actually, I think probably even faster. So even though we didn't get paralysed by Electrike, we then got paralysed by Lombre using Nature Power and it turning into Stun Spore, so you really can't win. And now he's paralysed both of my team members, which is very annoying. But there we go. I do have one full heal, but I was hoping not to have to use it, and I would rather not run back because I don't have any repels. But what I will do, I will just kill this now. I do have a couple of full heals, so hopefully I'll just use one of those. And we should be fine. Combusken's already paralysed, and Combusken takes out Lombre. There should be one more Pokemon to defeat here, and then we can get the item we were after. Nuzleaf is Grass Dark, so hopefully this should do quite a lot of damage, and it doesn't do that much damage. Maybe it's just grass. I'm not sure when Lotad gets its Seedot gets its Dark typing, whether it's as a Nuzleaf or as a Shiftry. Right, so yeah, this is. This trainer done, and I'm once again running out of time. I'm having to record in quite short bursts, but that's fine. I'm happy just to get some stuff done. Right, so we have our revive, and let's just carry on this way, I guess. Plusle, Minuns, sorry. So Minuns is 15% as well to appear on this route. And we still have not caught one, so we may as well do so. And the one good thing about being paralysed is that you can't get paralysed again, so I will just spam bite until this thing is... let's see how much Leech Life does, actually. Quick Attack doesn't do much to us. We are impish, we've got plus defense nature, so we're pretty good at taking any physical hits, and Minuns, I think, is a special attacker anyway. We should be pretty safe just to keep spamming Leech Life and maybe even an Astonish just to mix it up, I guess. Helping Hand is purely a doubles move, it does nothing in singles, so there is no point going for it in singles, but yeah, so hopefully this should be an easy catch and we can carry on. And that will be 2 down, so we've got Gulpin and now Minuns as well. Minuns being a pure electric type, and not a very good Pokemon as well. But there we go. So now if we come along here, So we've got another double battle coming up, so I'm just going to switch Curlier into the second slot and then take this on as a double battle. It might be better to do it as 2 single battles, but it's probably faster to do it this way, so I'm all after speed currently. And they do only have 1 Pokemon each, so that's good. And Abra shouldn't do anything to us, so we can kill the Magnemite in one go with... no we can't. I was going to say we could kill the Magnemite in one go, but we do not have our Combusken out front. So I will Confusion. I think that's Hidden Power Fighting, so it should do absolutely nothing yet. I don't know why I remember that, but I do, so... The way Hidden Power works is it has a sort of, well, a semi-random selection of moves that it can use. Or of types, sorry. So, depending on your IVs, your kind of individual stats, I'm going to switch out here into Combusken. So depending on your IVs, your individual values, your hidden power will be a specific type. So for instance, if you have 31 of every single IV, the type will be Dragon, and also the power varies. So in this generation the maximum power is 70, and in later generations it actually drops to 60, and then in Gen 8 they actually removed hidden power, which I think is probably a good decision from a kind of game design point of view. If you want to give a Pokemon a move of a certain type, you should be able to do so, but I don't think every Pokemon should have access to a move of every type, if that makes sense. So I think getting rid of hidden power is a good decision, but it was a staple for a lot of Pokemon, especially electric Pokemon, have suffered because there's now no option to run hidden power grass or hidden power ice for ground types. So and hopefully this kills the Abra, but if it doesn't, then yeah. So we do manage to take out the Abra, and I will now save because I think I have to go. But yeah, hopefully there's no more Pokemon on this route. If there are, I will have to... I don't think there are any more trainers up here, so maybe we can get past this. And we do. Okay, so we now have one more trainer to beat, and then we can get to catching all of the Pokemon on this route. So if we fight this guy, I believe he has a Wailmer and a couple of Magikarp or something along those lines anyway. So it shouldn't be... Oh, he's got a Tentacle. Shouldn't be too difficult to deal with. I am going to keep switching out of Zubat though, just because I can't really be bothered to watch it use its very weak moves still. As I said, we're not too far away from getting the XP share, and Zubat will be useless in the next gym anyway, regardless of whether or not it had any good moves, so I think we're good to just carry on for now at least. And we have Wailmer. I will, you know, carry on switching out. I could have gone and healed up in Mauville, but decided that would have been... I don't know, I just decided not to. I was too lazy, so I'm just going to carry on with this. And again, switch out, rinse, repeat, etc. Wailmer and Wailord have a lot of HP and not much else. They're pretty average Pokemon, not particularly noteworthy, but they are very big if you look at the Pokédex sizes. And famously, one of the weirdest breeding combos you can do is a Wailord and a Skitty, I believe, which Skitty is very small and Wailord is not. So yeah, the logistics of that one are slightly dubious. And let's see how far off we are how far off level 19 we are. I'm not entirely sure when Zubat evolves. This is the sort of thing I should look up, but sadly have not done. So if we do switch out again and just go again, Curdy has been pretty able to take care of these without too much of an issue. And the eyes on... I can't really decide if I like where the placement of Whalmer's eyes are. They're only 1 pixel apart, but I don't know, it feels like one should be lower, they should be on the same level maybe, but now that I've seen it I can't really unsee that I don't like the way it looks. The thing about these sprites is obviously because these games are made for handheld devices. I should have switched out there, but I can't be bothered anyway, so because these games are made for a Game Boy Advance which has such a small screen, I actually think the sprites look great. I think these games have aged really, really well, but sometimes when you are looking at it on a bigger screen, like I'm playing on my laptop at the moment, it's just quite funny seeing the exact details of some of the sprites. Press the wrong button there. We can come in here, and this is the other end of the cycling road. So if we try and go in here, we get turned back and told to come back with a bike. So we can't do that for now still. We can pick up these nanab berries. I'm not entirely sure what nanab berries do, but I will always collect all of the berries because they're free items basically, and I may need them in the future for breeding, or I do eventually want to show off contests and how to win them, but yeah, that will probably be kind of post-game content once we're done with the Elite Four and everything. And this is talking about the 2 roads, the cycling road and the walking road. Wouldn't it be great to ride a bike at full speed? Yeah, so we are now done with Route 110 and we can move on to Marville City. We will be going back and completing the cycling road, but yeah, we're going to leave Marville for now. I am going to go and heal up in the Pokemon Center, and then we will tackle Marville and some of the routes around it next episode, I think. And the first encounter we get is a good one. We get an Oddish at 10%. And the good thing about Zubat being dreadful is that, as you can see, it does no damage to wild Pokemon, which allows it to weaken them pretty effectively. It means I don't have to worry about critting anything, because Bite is, even a critical Bite would only do that much damage. Then I think we're okay, and I'm going to bite one more time. I could do it. And I could bite again. I think after this absorb I will bite again. A crit might kill from there, but I don't think so, and it's only an 8% chance or something, maybe even less than that in this game. Yeah, so from that HP we should be able to catch it first time with a Pokeball, I hope. And then we can... There is a reason to catch 2 Oddish, because we need to evolve. Gloom evolves into 2 different Pokemon. Oddish is... Oddish evolves into Gloom, Gloom evolves into 2 different Pokemon, so if I see another Oddish I will be catching it, but that's the first one done. And we have already seen one Electrike, and it was a female, which we do need a female, but sadly we killed it with a crit bite, so after saying how good it was that even crits wouldn't kill, I then immediately crit, and did get paralysed from the last one as well, which I haven't gone and healed off yet. I have been killing Gulpin if I've seen any Gulpin, just because they can't really do anything to Zubat, because they can't poison it, so they are free experience basically, but it does mean I've been getting a bit weaker. Hopefully we can catch this thing, and then we will only have Plusle to find. Be done with this route. And there we go, so that is another Pokemon to add to the collection, and now we are on to hunting for a second Oddish at 10% and a Plusle at 2%. And there's our second Oddish, so we should be able to catch this one, and we are also very close to level 20, so you can kind of see how many things we've been killing. I've basically been killing all of the Zigzagoon not Zigzagoon, all the Puchianic that I've seen, because Leech Life is super effective and they can't status you or anything. I did also catch an extra Electric, just a male one in case I do want to breed them together for some reason. I probably won't need that, but you know, it's good to have. And it might be a good nature, in which case, you know, I don't know, it was more of a contingency thing, and I've got the Pokeballs to spare, so yeah, this thing is being quite annoying just because Zubat is paralysed, and Zubat seems to have decided that 1 in 4 actually means every single time, so that's not that helpful, but you know. We get paralysed again, what a surprise. It doesn't help at all that this has Absorb as well, even though it's only doing 1 damage every time, it is healing up 1 damage, and Bite's not exactly doing a ton anyway, so this is taking a lot longer than it should, and I will probably cut all of this out. And that is weak enough now that we should just be able to catch it here. Hopefully. And there we go. So we do catch Oddish, and Zubat is now level 20, and we've found the Pokemon we're looking for. So we actually have a Plusle to catch here. I'm going to go for Bite, I think, and I don't think this should do too much damage. Zubat's still pretty weak, and especially on the special side. But I will probably just leave it at that HP. I could. Well, I don't think a crit would kill anyway, so I'll use 1 more Bite. If it was a shiny or something, I would never take that risk, just because, you know. But 2% is bad, but not too bad. So hopefully this just stays in the ball, and we are done. Yeah, we're all done with catching every Pokemon available on Route 110. So that was Electrike at 30%, Poochyena at 20%, Minun at 15%, Gulpin at 15%, Oddish at 10%, Wingull at 8%, and Plusle at 2%. In the fishing, you can get Magikarp 70% and Tentacool at 30% with the Old Rod. And yeah, so that's going to be us for now. Thank you very much for watching. That's the end of episode 7, and next episode we will be taking on Morville. We will have a look around, we'll take on some of the routes next to, and possibly do the gym, although I think that'll probably be the episode afterwards. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.